A few weeks back, my best friend and I met up online for game night. You know, game night, right? So, for us, it's always the same ritual. We endlessly scroll through the library, undecided what we could play, and end up just chatting anyway. Because that's the actual reason we do it in the first place. So, following this exact protocol, I somehow ended up on a page I had almost completely forgotten about. The Steam market history. Mindlessly, I started clicking through all the pages down to the very first Counter-Strike items I ever sold back in 2014. Checking out the prices of what I sold back then for a few cents compared to what those items are worth today, literally hundreds of euros, I was hooked instantly. But I really couldn't start to check what I sold. There was that thought in my mind. I wondered, how much money would I have today if I never sold those items? There must be some site, there must be some tool to check that automatically, right? I found absolutely nothing. And that's when I had a brilliant idea. I myself must create a website to do exactly this. The world needs it. It will be super easy.
Wrong.
That's how I fell straight down the rabbit hole and how I ended up building my very first web project. Right from the start, I was absolutely convinced about one thing. Data handling has to happen entirely on the user side. Local processing only. And no, it's not just because I'm greedy and terrified of paying massive web traffic and hosting costs. Okay, maybe a little bit. But purely from a user's perspective, it's the only correct way. It's your data and it should stay on your machine. So let's call it a win-win. So having that clarified, still the first question was, how do we get that thousands of lines of Steam market history, your Steam market history, into our local browser application? And then, of course, later on, we need images, current prices, and historical market graphs. I tried a lot of things. And honestly, a lot of the stuff actually worked without having to steal session tokens or doing illegal shady stuff. But all of those solutions had one major thing in common. They were incredibly complicated. JavaScript code injections in the browser in developer mode, or at best, custom-generated bookmarklets you have to pull up. Of course, it worked for me and it would work for you, but let's be real. Only a handful of the actual 0 users of my site would use that. So after testing a lot of different stuff, the ultimate solution was clear. I need a browser extension. The user installs it once and everything else is handled smoothly and safely in the background. So yes, I simply had to write a plugin for Chrome and Firefox and Edge and get it through the official platform approval stores. Super easy, right? Yeah, right. But that wasn't even the real final boss. Because right after that came this other tiny, massive problem. For some inexplicable reason, Gabe decided that the Steam market history only needs to display the months and the day. No year.
Where is the year?
Just August 16th. So in which actual year you sold that item?
Where is the year?
Figure it out yourself, nerd. Which is genuinely a nightmare when you have up to 12 years of history and massive multi-year gaps in between, where you didn't trade at all. I had a 4-minute video prepared to explain it in all detail, but actually I'm a big fan of doing it in 30 seconds. So, the trick is to first find some anchor items where we try to find the matching price history without breaking the fixed order, which we know. Then we have ranges for the items in between, where it should be also pretty safe to just match the month with the best fit for the value on the historic graph within the range. Okay, not yet 30 seconds, but I'm trying. So we are coming to the end here, and we both know what that means. It's time to show it. So as you can see, I have the extension already installed, so he's detecting it. I'm using Chrome, so I can simply click on that one button. It's opening the community market and exporting the history. Away, and he's loading the data. So now the Smart Year Guesser is highly recommended, so we start that too. And voila, you see my losses. Of course, I would never kept that items for so long and just sold it today, but still it's crazy for me to see that. So I actually sold my items for around 1,000 euros and I could have over 11,000 euros today. Yeah, and those are my biggest regrets. As you can see, the breakout cases partially have been sold for 2 cents. And the highest price when compared to that was over 992 euros of profit. If you are one of the legends with a very old Steam account, please do try it out. Send me the numbers in the chat. Also, I would be very happy for any kind of feedback. And if you should like the site, please share it. So in that regards, have a beautiful day and see you in the next video. And once again, that ended a bit prematurely. So there are a lot more features you can try out on the site. And I'm currently working on a video where I explain the site in more details. Okay, now I leave you alone. Have a great time. Bye.